Hi and welcome to day 30 of Counting the Omer. Gevurah within hood. So we are completely in the feminine side of the tree of life. Gevurah can be seen as this inner strength we all have to wait, to hold back, to not move until the time is ready. Or we hold back love because we see that the other person is not completely ready to receive it. Or there are some needs for boundaries or some sort of justice to happen or appear in a situation before we can fully give our unconditional, free, loving nature to another human being. I've mentioned it before, it's easy to see this quality within us when it comes to raising children. To be a good parent is not always giving this boundless, free love without any direction, without any rules, without any boundaries for the child, because that child will not feel safe in that. And the child doesn't know how to adjust him or herself to a daily routine, for example. So if we don't make sure that the child will go to bed at the right timing and help that child to go to bed, some children will then just very easily stay awake or get overly tired because they haven't learned to fully regulate themselves. And it's the same thing with their emotions. It's our job in a way to help them to learn how to regulate themselves in the meeting with other people and with the world in general. Because it's important for us people, for us humans, to fit into a community. So we teach our children to fit in. Because when we fit in, we feel more safe within our nervous system. It's easier for us to find a partner. It's easier for us to make children. So we are doing them a favor when we help them to fit into some sort of community. Some children are more difficult to help in this way because they come in with such a strong, free spirit in a way, and maybe some also come in with this mission that they will go against the structure which is there. So we need to lose our rigidity as a parent sometimes, and okay, this is a different child. How can I be supportive to this nature, to this personality, and help this child to feel safe, to feel loved? So that's the quality of the Gevurah, our ability to stand strong and direct our love, the divine love coming from within, coming from God. We know when to hold back and when to give, when to make sure a situation is balanced before we move, before we do. And the hood, which is also on the feminine side of the tree of life. In the physical realm, this can look like our ability to surrender to the creation itself, to life itself, because there's a higher intelligence behind it all. There's some sort of structure there in a way that gives us the room to be and to surrender and to trust. Because we are a part of this huge collective human consciousness and experience. And there's a greater plan behind it all. And we are a part of the universe. And because of how the universe is communicating with each other, and when the planets moves around, they influence us emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And when we flow with that, when we use that for our benefit to grow spiritually, it's a surrender in that. It's a trust in that I will be fine if I flow with it. And trusting in God as love, not a punishing man in heaven. If we trust that this source and this power and force behind the creation itself is good and full of love and light, there is really nothing to be afraid of. But if we go around and feeling that God is judging us and God is punishing us, we will be afraid. We will live our lives in fear of judgments. God is not judgmental. We are judgmental. God is showing us that our actions have consequences. That's for sure. And the Gevurah is all about that. Judgments, our inner judgments towards other, towards ourselves, towards a situation, towards God. We project our own idea about what's wrong and right onto God. Just looking into all the religious or all the religions, they have so many rules. This is right, this is wrong, this is how you have to do it, this is how you definitely don't have to do it in order to come to heaven. If you ask me, there is so much bullshit out there. So many rules that are just making you confused more than giving you the Gevurah energy to find your own inner paradise within. These rules are making, in many ways, more separation than an actual experience of heaven within. And it all comes down to fear. Because when we make rules and laws and things like that, it's because we are afraid that something bad will happen if we don't follow the rules. Of course, the justice system and many of the laws, they are there because out of experience. If you kill someone, it will lead to a lot of suffering for that person who kills, but also for the family to that person who got killed. Or if you rape, there's a certain amount of consequences from that. Or if you steal something. So the humankind have been looking into the consequences of an action and seeing that this action actually led to a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, and let's try not to create more of that, and at the same time trying to protect people and making some sort of order. Just look at the traffic without any rules. It wouldn't have functioned. It would be complete chaos. So this is really the Gevurah, and it can be in the shadow side or it can be in the light side. When it's in its shadow, it's all about fear, shame, guilt, envy, jealousy, lack, feeling empty, feeling that something is missing. And this is really the feminine wound in many ways. When the feminine feels empty, all she longs for is to be filled, fulfilled by the masculine. She's longing for love. She's longing for his presence. His giving nature. She just longs for that energy coming from the masculine. She longs for his protection. For his support. For his attention. So this is the feminine longing, which we all have inside of us. But as a manifested woman, it's more likely that this is more part of your daily or commonly emotional experience in many ways. So whenever we feel empty, we go to the man and there's an emotional need coming from us. Please fill me up. Please meet my needs. Please love me. So we come with this neediness of love. Then we are completely on the feminine side, right? Completely into the emptiness of the feminine that just longs to be fulfilled and to be loved and cared for. If you look into the female body, it has this beautiful womb that wants to be filled with life. So this is a part of our nature, this longing. When we don't know how to surrender to divine timing and giving the masculine the freedom he desires, we will come with this energy that I need you to fulfill me. On the masculine side, all he really longs for is freedom. And to be allowed in a way to come in as a wave when he wants to, when his nature is in its giving nature. When his will of giving is there, he feels empowered and he comes to the feminine because he wants to. Because he loves her, so he wants to give to her. Then he is completely in his masculine divine nature. And the woman, she will receive whatever she's longing for. But the moment the feminine is in fear, and this victim feeling that, oh, he doesn't love me, he doesn't give me enough, why is he not talking with me, why is he not calling me, he doesn't show me that he loves me, he doesn't want me, why is men like this or that, why are they always hurting me? You know, I think all of us as women have been feeling this at one point or another. This lack mentality, this victim mentality. And we blame our parents, and we blame our friends and our past lovers. And it's all about them. It's nothing about us. When the woman is in that, poor me, he's not in love with me, he doesn't love me, doesn't care for me, he doesn't show anything, he doesn't show his affection to me, doesn't know how to communicate with me. When we are in this energy, we are completely in the shadow side of Hood and Gevurah. What the man will feel then, and please, folks, don't be so trapped in the idea about a man and a woman. We have the masculine and the feminine energies in us. And the whole idea and the whole intention with the tree of life and this counting the Omer is to bring them into balance with each other internally. But very often this is manifested into the physical, in our relationships dynamics. So we need to be aware of what we are creating with our friends and with our lovers. So the man, when the woman is in her victimhood, her lack feeling that she's empty and she needs the man to fill her up, or we can talk about the feminine and the masculine energies, then the man or the masculine will immediately feel that he doesn't have enough to give. He will feel the lack from the woman, and he will feel that he has nothing to offer. He will feel that he's doing something wrong because his woman is not happy. The feminine is not happy. She's not content. And he will start to feel like, oh, she doesn't like me. She's not content with me. What did I do wrong? I have nothing to give, so it's better to give up. I don't like this. I just want to be free. I'm so sick of her wanting something from me. I will go for a run now. I need some time for myself. I don't want this. So he pulls back and out of the whole connection, and he goes his own way. And then the woman sits there and she thinks, oh, he's so egoistic. He only cares for himself. He doesn't care for me. So her feelings of being the victim just increases. And his feeling that his freedom is limited increases. And then we are both lost in suffering. When the feminine is fulfilled, she has released her fear. She stands in her power, her magnetism. She's powerful, she's full of love, she's full of trust. She's already content and fulfilled from within. What the masculine will feel then is that, wow, I really did my job here. My woman, my my feminine, she's fulfilled. I'm good enough. Now I can relax and I can go on my mission. I can do what I needed to do and what I came for. And when I'm finished with that, I'm looking forward to make love with my feminine. I'm looking forward to meet her. I'm looking forward to listen to her. I wonder how her day was today. I love it when she tells me about her day, and I love it when she tells me how much she loves me, and I love to hold her. Maybe she had some feelings today that she wants to share with me, and I'm looking forward to just hold space for her so she can release that. Because I love it when she opens her up like that, so I can feel important and feeling like this masculine, protective, strong man that I am. I'm not saying that the feminine needs to take all the responsibility, that it's our fault that the man feels his lack. It's not really about this, but it's about learning to fulfill ourselves, to feel content within our own being. And a way to do that is to focus on our own masculine energy, our own mission, our own drive, coming home to the heart and the I am presence. Setting the man free. We have been blaming him, putting on the whole responsibility on the man, all this suffering he has caused us over the thousands of years, all the suppression, all the rapes, everything that has been going on. And we can keep on playing this game of victimhood or manipulation, because another shadow side of the feminine, when she feels the lack of love, when she feels disconnected, when she's starting this yearning and this obsession for a man to fulfill her, what she will do very easily, and it's not only about the man, it's also about her mission, her longing for material things, a job, children, whatever. She starts to manipulate, and very often she uses her sex, her sexuality. That's her greatest weapon against the man, against the masculine. This is coming from a very wounded, traumatized place. But it doesn't take away the responsibility for that action. When the woman goes in, when the feminine goes in and starts to manipulate through sex, she creates a certain energy and a dynamic with a masculine that can never be fulfilled. It can never be healthy. It can never be in harmony and peace. Whenever we try to manipulate something, which is the shadow side of hood, which is the opposite of surrendering and trusting in divine timing and what's meant for us, we go into this pushing, forcing energy. And when we push towards the masculine or towards anyone and they are not ready, they will withdraw. Maybe they will engage for a little while, but you will never really receive what you were actually longing for, which is his support and love and presence. The divine masculine presence and love has to come from he feeling free, not controlled. Control and manipulation comes from fear. And if we have not healed our own lack, and here I'm talking not only about the woman or the man, I'm talking about everyone. And I feel that this lack of love, this lack of support, this feeling that something is missing, it's coming from the separation that happens at the moment we come out of the womb of the mother. And as we grow as a child, we grow into this experience of separation. We are not only separated from our mother, but we are also separated from our soul. Because we come as this pure divine soul, but the world is not reacting according to that. We are met by humans who don't recognize our divinity. And we come with human needs that maybe are not met by our parents all the time. Emotional needs, physical needs, mentally needs, spiritually needs. And our environment don't know how to meet those needs. So we develop this feeling of lack and separation. And of course this varies from person to person. But there is, for most humans, a point of time where the child starts to realize that we are not one. I am here in this physical body, and there is my mom, and she is there, over there. And right now I need her, and I call for her, and she doesn't hear me. I am separated from her. She doesn't feel me. She doesn't know me. So knowing that separation, idea of separation, is a part of the human experience and something that we all need to overcome when we are on a spiritual journey, if we are moving towards enlightenment. Overcoming the idea and the wounds and the trauma of separation is a part of that journey. Because if we live from that idea, in that illusion, we will continuously feel the lack of love. And we will continuously seek for that outside of ourselves. And we feed into this dynamic of separation within a relationship. Let's take a breath and just integrate that. So how to come into this emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually state of oneness and fulfillment. We all, of course, need to find our own way. For me, it's obvious if I don't spend time meditating, connecting with my heart, connecting with my spirit guides, if I don't spend time contemplating on my dreams and what is being shown to me in my dreams, if I skip my spiritual practice, I very quickly get trapped in the 3D world, in the physical world. And then the experience of separation immediately comes in. When I spend equally time on being in the material world, doing my mission, serving, helping, assisting people, giving healing, being creative in the material world, in the physical, and taking care of my emotional needs and contemplating and releasing and allowing and healing and integrating my wounds and my traumas and my feelings as they come. Making sure I clear my mind every day, moving my body, doing my spiritual practice. If I don't do this, I get trapped very easily. So I need to focus every day. Ask myself every day, what is needed to reconnect if I feel separated? Is it my mind going crazy? Is it creating all these stories right now? Am I just trapped in an old story, an old program? And if so, what do I do then? How do I deal with that? Well, for me, it's writing it out, going into nature, empty the mind, meditating, writing in the morning, things like that. It gets my mind back on track, back onto the mission, to the reason I'm here. And then I sit with the hood energy and I see the glory in everything that appears in front of me. Every person I meet, I see them as a lesson. Every time I feel there's an obstacle, I take the opportunity to grow. Because I see the enormous intelligence behind it. Every time I feel this intense longing for love, or this feeling of being empty, if I don't regulate that and going within myself, I get lost in the obsession of having that from the outside. So I need to practice awareness, inquiry. What's alive in me now in this moment? I see, I'm in separation mentality right now. I feel separated. I feel disconnected. Okay, then I know that I'm in lack. Which is okay, because we need to experience the polarities in order to feel the difference. That's the human experience. We go from one polarity to the other. We go from darkness into light. But in the end, the goal is, or the intention is, to come into a neutral state of being where the only experience is love and peace and harmony. Buddha was talking about the middle path. Yeshua was talking about the middle path. All the great teachers have been talking about union consciousness, becoming one with nature, becoming one with everyone and everything, becoming one with God. We are not separated. If we are in the polarities, into the lack of freedom, lack of love, separated from our true essence, we are not neutral, we are not free, we are not peaceful. Then we are in obsession and we are mentally going back and forward, trying to figure it out, trying to be rational. But if we never did that, how could we understand this and experience this feeling of coming home to our truth? I think I have spoken what needed to be said today, so I will conclude here. Before I end, an invitation to open your heart to receive from me, from Spirit, from God, that love which is always there, being gifted to you in so many different ways. Take off those glasses that keeps you from not perceiving that, not seeing that, not experiencing that. Just imagine you're taking off those glasses. You're removing the walls around your heart, around your womb or your belly. And imagine your body, your heart and spirit being filled with light and love. Be the feminine magnet. Be the receiver of God's love. And allow it to fill into every cell of your body. Allow that to fill into your thoughts and into your soul within your heart. Allow your heart to be filled with love. Imagine I'm sending it right now from my heart to yours. Imagine God within as this giant sun radiating love from within, like a giant waterfall. Let me remind you about my meditation here on YouTube, where I guide you into that waterfall where you can just open up to receive. Because it's always being offered to you. You have the opportunity to never feel empty again. Release all those fears and all those ideas about being a victim. In this moment, if you are in a safe environment, in a safe home, you are not a victim. And if you truly are a victim to criminality, or you have a partner or someone close to you who is someone who abuses you, who is not kind, who is damaging to you mentally, physically, or spiritually, you have an opportunity to remove yourself from that. We always have that choice, unless you're living in a war zone. But most likely, if you're listening to this, you are not. And even though this river of love is always available, no matter your life circumstances, it's always there because it's who you are. And God will never leave you. God is within you. God is who we are. We are born from God. We are God's children. And God's light is shining through us, within us. And always offering us the grace of peace and love and harmony and truth. All you need to do is ask for it and open for it. No matter how your life looks like, no matter how your life has been in the future, no matter all the trauma you have been through. There is always love there, because that is who you are. And I send you so much love from my heart to yours. Amen.